Do you like Clan Wars and Clash of Clans? Keeping your mind open to new strategies? Well, listen up. It's Marijuana Jesus here with a CWL attack breakdown. Today we are looking at a variation of the witch slap that I'm going to call the Hebo Weeva. If you'd like to see an example of a witch slap, I have a video with a link in the description. As of why I didn't just witch slap, they were recently nerfed and I haven't yet tried them in Town Hall 10. Which, for this space, it probably wouldn't have mattered, just the nerfing made me a little worried, as it was CWL, gotta bring them 3 stars, go big or go home. Now, Hebo Weeva, in the name, healer, bowlers, witch, and Valks. Which, I'm a huge fan of Valks. I've used healers quite a bit. I like witches with the Valks, and I like the bowlers, so I mean, it's a pretty good little attack breakdown. And we're looking at the second war. Number 9 was actually my mirror. So we're going to take a little look now. So this was my mirror. A decent little, kind of just in a Town Hall 10, just with all new buildings built pretty much and almost leveled up. Expo's a little low. Harsher Tower's a little low. And when I first saw this base, I thought maybe a Quad Loon. Kind of. I have videos of Quad Loons. I can put them in the descriptions. Was thinking maybe about trying to grab this AD with the heroes maybe. But it's kind of just a deep push. And there was a lot of different variables. And I decided, nah, I wasn't feeling it. That was my first thoughts. I slept on it. Was like, nah, bad idea. So I got to looking at it a little bit more. And I thought, witch slap. So what are you looking at when you're looking at a witch slap? Basically, the weaknesses for a witch slap, if you're talking Town Hall 9, is just expos and heroes. And ADs. The ADs are like centered on the inside where you can keep your healers on the witches outside of the ADs, and you can tank those expos with like your heroes, you're good to go. That's pretty much it. And with this base, it's kind of like that. All these air defenses don't really reach too outside, and it's just got that square design. So they can just kind of work down the sides, and you have stuff work through the middle. So it's got that going for it. And then another thing that I noticed it's got going for it, for a witch slap, is everything is in a straight line here. It's in between all of this. So, and then would have your witches and healers normally work from out there, and they would work down here and down there. And then obviously their kill squad and your heroes running down the middle, and the witches on the outside will kind of fight and, bounce each other back and forth along throughout here. Because we have the expos just all pretty much in a straight line. And then on top of it, we have the queen here and the king within the straight line as well, and the CC. Not only that, the CC is pretty far back, and it doesn't reach to the outside, so you wouldn't have to worry about skellies tripping it or anything like that from the outside. And you can get a proper entrance. You don't got to do a hurry quick, get everything out, get everything down, hopefully you funneled it right, blah, blah, blah. You can, get a proper entrance going. So I decided against the witch for previous reasons, but I did bring one witch per side. And I thought, looking at this base. I mean, the most important things you want to take out are obviously Infernos, Expos, Heroes, and CC. And with the CC where it's at and the Heroes, I just kind of liked coming in from this side up here. So you'd have one witch over here and one witch over here. Now, where you actually place those witches and place your troops is very important too, guys. It's something you have to think about on certain attacks. is where you place them. If you want them to go in certain directions or after certain things, you have to look at where the buildings are placed and how they're going to path and where they're going to go from where you place it. They go to whatever's closer. So if they're on the left side of a building, they're going to go to whatever's closer to the left probably. If they're on the right side of the building, same goes for that. Go to the right. So you got to think about where you place troops and stuff. And that's even trickier with bowlers because their rocks bounce and they destroy stuff in front of them or the side of them and everything else. So they pretty much funnel themselves. So that's interesting about bowlers, which I'll have a link in the description with that attack, with an attack that pretty much funnels itself if you ever have troubles funneling, with giants, healers, witches, and bowlers. Which is kind of similar to this attack in a way, you could say. So I decided to come from that right side. And so let's take a look at what I think I would do. So I want to bring in, seeing where everything's at. We're going to use a wall wrecker. And we are going to make that the black, and we are going to drop him in from right here. So that way, in all hopes, it goes all the way into here. Which, I doubt it will. I think it'll just get into the Inferno. But before that, I want 2 giants to interrupt those archers and to interrupt those wizard towers. Just tank a little bit because I want to bring my bowlers. I'm going to have, I think, 6 on each side. So I want to bring in my bowlers from like right here. And then I want to bring in the bowlers on the north side from like over here. That way when they bounce, they go to there, and then they bounce and go to there. Same thing over here. They bounce, probably don't go anywhere, maybe go to here if you're lucky. But taking that out and then being over on this side, being on, that side of the gold storage, they are going to go this way once that gold storage is destroyed, because the closest building is going to be these guys. So they're going to go to the outside like I want them to. And they are going to have healers behind them. I want a bright yellow. Come on. All these dull yellows. Anyways, have 2 healers behind them. Well, actually, you know what? Let's make this realistic. We want the healers to be more like over here-ish. So that way when the bowlers move down the side, the healers get pulled kind of like this. The farther away from the AD, the better. And over here will be the same thing, healers over here. That way the archer tower and everything else, the bowlers will come over this way and the healers will finally start pulling and go that way. So there's your bowlers and your healers for this attack. And actually those are probably almost what... No, because the archer tower would be able to tag your bowlers over here on the right. So you would want to put down the giant, then your CC or your wall wrecker, which I have bowlers and a giant in there, which is a great CC with a wall wrecker. I love it. And you place your bowlers on both sides, and then your healers, and then you want to place your witch over here and your witch over here. And then you want to place, if you brought a few wizards or whatever, which I think I did, I think I brought a few and placed them over here so they could kind of funnel my heroes into the center so they could take out these buildings and funnel my heroes into this way, and also help when the CC comes out. So after the wizards are placed, we're going to place the queen back here. And basically, if you do a really good funneling job, as I've done here, with pretty much any attack, even if you're done just wizards or whatever else, you can almost, and if a lot of times with Valks, you can almost place the queen directly where you want her to go. So if you want her to go towards, the town hall, you'd place her, pretty much where I have it, back here-ish. If you wanted her to end up going like down this way, you place her over here. And it'll decently follow. Of course, she's got that radius, and she'll kind of just walk all over the place and do her own thing to an extent. We'll place the queen, and then we will place a Valk. I like to place one Valk, and then place my king. So let's go with... Then I like to place my king. And then I like to place the rest of my Valks. Why is this? That one Valk does a lot of things, depending on the base and all that good stuff. Depending on the base and all that good stuff, she'll run in there, and sometimes she'll pull the CC for you if you need that. She'll run in there, she'll trip bombs, she'll grab like heroes' attention. The bombs and the spring traps and stuff like that is fantastic. Pulling the CC real quick. That way she pulls the CC and then it locks onto your golem or whatever you're using for a golem. Right now it would be the Rock Crusher. I think that's what it's called. The Wall Wrecker. My bad. It'll grab, so the CC will grab her on the Wall Wrecker, and then the Valks basically right after they target the Wall Wrecker or your golem, your primary Valks, all the rest of your Valks and your king run up past your golem pretty much right as they target and run past the CC. And this is usually accompanied by a rage and then a heal. So after you place them in, if you have an extra wizard to place in, place it behind them. And so basically that Wall Wrecker is going to destroy and get in here. And then my kill squad is going to be able to come in. Let's see, what do we want to do? Kill. My kill squad will be able to come in and murder out all this stuff and come over here because the queen's going to attract attention, the king's going to attract attention, kill them, the CC's going to attract attention. So there's going to be a hole here, so they'll come probably back in here. And then, so I will lay down... Once the CC comes out, I'll probably lay down a rage right about there. And then I'll lay down a cure, probably overlap it a little bit right there. And then there's not really brown on here. That's weird. There's no brown, guys. Alright, we're going to use black. Earthquake. And then I use an Earthquake. And Earthquakes are, I think, 9 tiles. So remember, 9 tiles. Jumps are 7 tiles. You can stretch this to 8 and 10 at times. It's just dependent on the way how you're hitting it and the base and everything. But don't rely on 10. Don't rely on 10. And 10 for Earthquakes. So I'm going to Earthquake actually all of this square. So basically I'm going to open up this section. I'm going to open up this section. And I'm going to open up this section. The only thing that won't be open is that southern section will be open too. So I'll pretty much have opened up the whole entire rest of the base for those 4 Earthquakes, the whole back end. And then I will use a freeze. Then I'll use a freeze on this Inferno Tower, maybe Expo. I don't know. There might be some Teslas in there or something like that. So I'm not sure exactly where I'll place it, but it'll cover the Inferno Tower. I can tell you that. Once the Valks come through and everything, and probably, some other stuff. And the bowlers, because once it hits the town hall, a wall wrecker will outcome a bunch of bowlers and stuff, and I'll have my king and queen. I'll have my king and queen. God damn it. So those bowlers will pop out right behind them Valks and come through and start destroying this back end. So bowlers can come through, start hitting stuff, and doing their usual bounce and everything. They'll come through. Queen probably behind, king maybe with them. I don't know. We have this section over here that might pull off some stuff. Maybe might pull out some troops in the beginning. We'll see how it goes, which is fine. As long as we have those something, Valks or king or queen, or even the giant and the bowlers, that freeze is really going to come in handy. And then I truthfully can't remember if I decided on a rage or a cure in this back end. I think I went with a rage. So after I freeze, I rage stuff, or I cure it. I cannot actually remember. So we're going to find out when we watch it. And then the queen and everything can go, since that earthquake opened up this whole entire back end. So they opened up this whole entire back end. They can just continue destroying, and then maybe I'll have some bowlers coming down this side or coming down that side and help start destroying everything and finishing up. So that's basically how I would come at it and how I would set up for this base. So now we're going to take a little watch and see what actually happens. It was another rage. Alright, so I was right. So I went off of the storage instead of that collector I see. Which I think I was trying to make it so the bowlers guaranteedly went down the side. I was kind of worried about that. So that's probably why I did it like that. And actually, ooh, they got to touch the AD air defense on that. So anyways, you got the wall wrecker coming in. And as you can see, I did that single Valk and then the king and then all the Valks. And see, she's going to run out. And actually, obviously grab an Inferno, but grab that queen. And underneath that rage, just stomp her. And then that second Valk came up and stomped the king with her. And out comes the CC. Got the poison down. The queen and my bowlers coming in through the back. So they didn't even, the north side ended up coming down the center. Which is all good. The king and a couple of Valks took over that top side, which is fine, like I said. Then we got the heal in the center with another rage getting them through. And then pops out 2 Teslas. Oh, crap. Then a freeze. Just, oh, look at that. Out pops the Tesla, grabs that. So 2 Teslas Expo and the Multi-Inferno. So damage with that freeze, even though it's only a level 2. Hardly any damage to my troops and whatnot. That big bomb luckily only got like 1 or 2 bowlers. The queen's still full health. King still has a healer. Got 3 bowlers over here on the side with a healer, so they're not going to die. 2 healers, so yeah, they're not going to die. The queen's all alone now, but all she has left is 2 archer towers, and she still has her ability, so we should be all good. I popped the king's ability to help get him through this wall and speed things up a little bit to come help the queen out. And see this right here? The queen just ran all the way around and is going to go to storage. Or actually, the army can't. She does some wild stuff, but like I've said in another video, she's a lot better than she used to be. So yep, popped that ability since she was getting low on health to get that archer to stop, and she comes back over and finishes off the archer. These bowlers are still working over here, just throwing their rocks, plowing stuff down, bowling it over. King is still full health. Still got a few Valks left alive. Healer finally died over there on that left side. So that was the He-Bo-Leva variation of the Witch Slap pretty much. And as I said before, if you want to check out a Witch Slap, I have a link in the description. Go check that out. If you I hope you guys learned something. I hope this will help you out later on with diagnosing bases and trying to figure stuff out. If you liked it, hit that thumbs up, subscribe for more content like this. I'll be coming at you guys with tons of new videos on my journey through Town Hall 10 and 11 and hopefully 12. We'll see how it goes. Enjoy your clashing, good luck with your raids, and keep on building. Marijuana Jesus out.